How you doing, guys? How you doing? I hope you're having a good Sunday, and I hope most of you are looking forward, obviously, to watching the football match. I think it's Arsenal versus Chelsea. Yeah, but I said this at the beginning of the week. I said I'm just going to do a video because I have received a few questions from people. It's fine, like when people ask you questions, it's not a bad thing, and in general. But I didn't want to. It's very hard to be answering DMs and then explaining to people, and some people who obviously have seen me on channels, and some people. If you were watching this channel, obviously you could see even from the picture I have there that months ago, especially last year when I was doing most of my treatment, where I lost all my hair, including all this. It was very hectic. This new treatment seems to be treating me better. But anyway, I'm going to just explain from the beginning to everybody, basically why I have reached a point where I'm like, you know what? Let me go try treatment elsewhere. First of all, in Ireland here, they give free treatment. They give like free treatment to everybody. It's a public hospitals. They will give you treatment. They'll give you as much as they can do. So I'm also grateful for that. But unfortunately, everybody knows, and I'm pretty sure people who've had friends who've battled cancer or friends who've battled any sort of disease, sometimes the public hospitals can offer as much as they can, but sometimes there's other hospitals like the private ones or other hospitals that you need to pay that will definitely have more options and more advanced technology or more advanced treatments or trial treatments. So that's basically what my other aim is. So let me just explain, because a lot of people I think are surprised saying, oh, I never knew from every time they watch me on channels that obviously I was battling cancer now for the past 2 years. It was actually last year, January, believe it or not. January seems to be the month that I keep getting bad news, because it's also this January I was given the other bad news. So last year, January, I used to have a big, if you can see this side is sort of flat, everything was just taken away. I used to have a big, a small lump in my chest years ago. And for me, I sort of ignored it. I was like, you know what? it's not, it can't be breast cancer. Just how guys we act like it can't be breast cancer. No, breast cancer is for women. That's what I kept thinking. Maybe it's just something else in my chest that I will sort out later. I'll sort it out later. That's what I said. I said later. Years keep on going by. That thing started growing, and you could feel it in the chest. Like you could feel like it was like a ball. And I was like, okay, eventually I'll get there. I kept on saying that. So reached last year, the year before, somebody just told me, it's like, look, you better get that thing checked, because the way you're describing it, things might be serious. Just go get it checked and see what it is. So that's when I went to the doctor. The doctor referred me to the breast cancer clinic. And to make it something that the way I used to doubt about the breast cancer is, I think he said this. He said, I have been a doctor for 40 years. And for the 40 years I've been a doctor, only one man has had breast cancer. So it's rare, Patrick. It's something that's not out there. So I don't think it's breast cancer. I think it's just a cyst or something else. But anyway, I'll send you to the breast cancer clinic. When I went there, I started getting checked by multiple doctors. I think they started checking me with a doctor who was sort of like, just like a student, was the first one who checked me. Then he was also convinced, saying, okay, I think this might not be breast cancer. This feels a bit weird, so it might be something else. Let me get somebody senior than me. And then somebody senior came in and checked it again. They were doing just a physical test. They told me to take off my shirt. Physical test, they were feeling the lamp. And then the guy was like, we need to consult the specialist. She's in a meeting right now, so she has to come in. That's the head doctor. And the head doctor came in, and she did the same thing, felt how it felt. And then where I saw that, oh, I think this might be cancer, is when she started whispering, obviously, to her colleague. They started talking, and they said, give us a minute. Started talking. And then she came back and said, oh, we're going to have to do further tests. We're going to have to take samples. We're going to have to do scans. We're going to have to scan and see how we get on. Then when I can decide what to do. And I remember I told my mom, I was like, I think they know. I think she knows. I think after touching it, she knows that this might be breast cancer. And my mom was like, nah, be positive. And the other doctor told you that breast cancer is rare in men. He's worked for 40 years and he's only had one patient who's had breast cancer. And then in my head, I was like, nah, I think I can feel it from the way she looked and the way she spoke. And that's how all this happened, all this started. So let's just forward it. Went to do all the tests, or every test available. Funny thing is, they did a full bone scan of my body. So this cancer in my bone was never there. So at the beginning, it was never there. When I had the breast cancer, it wasn't there at all. Then they told me, look, this is stage 3 cancer, stage 3 breast cancer. They said, oh, this stage 3 breast cancer you have is curable and treatable, so we can treat it. So basically, that was like relief to my heart, saying, okay, so they can actually do something about it. That's when I found a newfound hope, saying, okay, the doctors say the breast cancer, stage 3, by the way, that's a very high stage already. So I already started at stage 3, which was already high for me. So they said, oh, we can treat it. We can treat it. We're very confident about it. It's sort of a responsive cancer. It can respond to treatment. So that's when I started last year. If you saw in my videos, I lost my hair. As you can see from the picture, I lost everything. I started doing the treatment, and I was very positive during the treatment. I used to go to treatment smiling, happy, positive all the time. I could still go and socialize with people. There was a lot of people who during last year they were very supportive. A lot of people, I know some YouTubers already knew this, by the way. Some of the YouTubers, they already knew this privately. Some of my close friends, the ones who come on the panel, they knew this throughout last year, that that's what I was battling. It was the breast cancer stage 3. Everything was great. Treatment was going great for me. Every time they do tests, my blood tests, every time they do my scans, everything was great. I was smiling. I was like, I'm gonna beat this. I'm gonna move away from having cancer. And I was losing weight. I was eating healthy, and everything was going great. Like I should tell people the truth. I actually was in the thinking as a person that that's it, this cancer thing is done, and I will make sure. And as I said, I always told people online, the reason why I did that is when my father had cancer, he kept it a secret. And I said I think it sort of hurt everybody around, because the time he told us, it was too late when he told us that he had cancer, but my dad kept the secret. I think sometimes these things are good to share, especially for me as a man, where I had breast cancer, which is rare. Other guys might have something on their chest and think, oh, it's nothing. I'm a guy, so I don't need to go to the hospital. And to be honest with you, there was one individual, a friend of mine. She's the one who pushed me to go. If she never pushed me, I could have continued sitting there. And maybe by the time I could have gone to the hospital, it could have been stage 4 breast cancer. So all the things were going last year. Everything was great. I decided to go back to work, got a good job, very well paid job. Everything was going the right way. Life was fixed. My life was fixing itself, my hair started growing back. I got back my beard. My skin during the cancer was very damaged. It was very pale, very dry all the time. I felt better. My body felt better. My body started fixing itself. So as they say, what do they say? You're on the come up. So that's where I was. But forward to September last year, that's when things started going south. September, I started having pains in my back, like pains. I'm not talking about like simple pains where you get because your mattress is damaged. No, this is like proper serious pain where you couldn't even move. There was points where I couldn't sleep at all. So whenever I'm in the bed, I couldn't move my hips like completely. I would just stay up all night in pain. Painkillers couldn't help. I tried the most powerful painkillers out there. They couldn't help. I was literally spending money on painkillers and taking painkillers as if they were sweets, trying to get the pain off. But I was hoping in the back that maybe this pain is due, it's just a reaction of doing chemo treatment and radiation. Because I did chemo for 6 months last year and radiation for 2 weeks. So I was like, no, don't worry about it. I kept on telling myself, don't worry about it. Your scans have been great. All your scans from the hospital have been great. So it's going to be fine. That's what I said. It's going to be fine. They all are very positive. But the pain wasn't stopping. I kept on taking, I went to the doctor. They gave me a stronger painkiller. It didn't help. And then I went back to the doctor in one of my sessions where I used to get an injection. So it's because after chemo, they start giving you an injection. The injection is to block the cancer spreading. That's another reason why the doctors were shocked when they found the cancer has spread, because they were giving me injections which stop your cancer from spreading. Then I went to the doctor again and said, nah, the pain is not stopping. I can't walk. It's going down my leg. And sometimes my leg is becoming numb. So she was like, okay, look, your scans have been amazing. I hope it's a muscle issue. I pray it's a muscle issue. We'll send you over to do the scans. They sent me to do a scan in December. I think it was before Christmas. I went and did a scan. It was a bone scan. The results came in again. January for the past 2 years. I hate January. January has become the month I despise. For the past 2 years, January has been the time I've been told bad news about cancer. So it was January the 9th. I'll never forget it, at 11 o'clock. I won't forget the time also. Trust me, you don't forget this, because I had an appointment at 11 o'clock to go to the oncologist center. That's where you do your cancer treatment, to get the injection. It's just, as I said, an injection to stop cancer spreading. When I arrived there, I got checked in. I spoke to a nurse. She was talking about my weight, that I've lost weight. I look great. I look in great shape. My hair is back. They didn't see me for a month, but so they were so excited. You look great. Little did I know, bad news was waiting for me from the doctor. The doctor arrived. She called my name. As soon as she called me, sometimes they will talk to you in a public space. It's sort of all the cancer patients up in a room, but there's curtains. They'll speak to you in a curtain. So this time she took me to a room at the back. That's when I knew. I was like, I don't think I'm about to get good news. And I already started getting emotional. I already started tearing up. And I was so confident when I went for my appointment that it's going to be a muscle issue. I went there by myself. Another mistake. Whenever you're going to get tested for cancer or anything, never go alone. I went on my own. And I remember she called me and said, she opened all my scans. I had like 20 scans I did throughout last year. She's like, I'm looking at all your scans. You had bone scans before. Yeah. Your bone scans were clear. You had a pelvis scan. So that's where my cancer right now has decided to spread to. He said, you had a pelvis scan. It was clear. Then she's like, I'm a bit confused. And I knew that by her saying that. I was like, yeah, I know what's about to come. She's like, I'm a bit confused because now the cancer is in your backbone and it's in your hips. So it's in your hip bone and your backbone. You can see from this picture, it's spread to your backbone and the hip bone. I remember that day, I think I broke down. I started crying. I cried the whole time. And as I said, I went there alone. I was on my own. So really, there was not much. And I tried my best not to cry in front of other cancer patients because we all sit in the room, because I still had to wait for my injection. Regardless, I was given the news, I still had to. And I remember I tried my best to fight. Like, it wasn't like fighting the doctor, but trying to find ways for her to give me a bit of good news. I remember the first question I asked, I was like, how did it spread? How has it spread within 3 months? I just finished my chemo 6 months, a few months ago, 3 months ago. How can cancer spread within 3 months? She's like, that's the thing, Patrick. Sometimes some people, it takes this cancer to spread 3 years, a year or more. Yours has spread within a month and we're surprised why. But I'm sorry to give you the bad news. The cancer is now in your bones. And unfortunately, we can't remove a bone from your body. We can't remove your backbone from your body. We can't remove the hip bone from your body. So it's stuck there. That's what she said. And then I asked her, I was like, is there anything you can do? She's like, there's no cure for this particular cancer. And she was like, it's just what the best we can do is give you chemo, or we can give you radiation on that area to just reduce the pain you're going through. So I asked again, I was like, so basically you're telling me there's literally like completely there's no hope on where there's a chance where you can get rid of it? She's like, no, that for me, I can't really say much, but all I know is if we want to just lessen your pain, we have to give you stronger painkillers. We have to give you morphine. So she gave me liquid morphine in liquid. We'll increase the morphine. And then she's like, you're going to have to speak to the head doctor of cancer in this hospital. And he has to decide what's best for you. But she's like, sorry, I know this is not what you wanted to hear, but yeah, your cancer has spread. The issue about cancer spreading is this. when the cancer is somewhere, I don't know if most people know this, when it's on another body part, when it spreads somewhere, so basically it survived. Basically what I'm trying to say is it survived the treatment, the chemo. So when it goes elsewhere, I don't know if maybe it's mutated or it becomes harder to treat or it becomes harder to deal with. So when it's stage 4, like I have right now, stage 4 bone cancer, where it's spread from stage 3, which was the breast cancer, it's I think where doctors know that you reach in a territory where it's very difficult for them to do much. Like, look, I thank all the doctors and all the nurses from the hospital I go to. They have been very helpful. But as I said, sometimes in life, when you go to a public hospitals are very limited. Unfortunately, it's not their fault, it's government funding. So the reason why, then it brings me to the reason why I decided to do the GoFundMe. One of my friends spoke to me and said, mate, why don't you go and find a second opinion? Why don't you go and see if other countries or there's private hospitals around that can do more advanced clinical trials or do more advanced treatment? And I was telling him, I was like, yeah, but they say bone cancer, especially the stage 4 I have, there's no cure. So what's the point? And he's like, man, you're going to have to try for the sake of your daughter, for the sake of your son, for the sake of your kids, for the sake of your family, and for the sake of your life. And he's like, just, I know the money is too much, but he was like, the world will amaze you. So this is one of my friends, come, and big up to him all the time, because every time I'm on a low point, he always comes and speaks to me, because it's been difficult. People keep asking, how are you doing? Everybody asks you, how are you doing? It's not easy, because everybody's going to die one day. Like, it's a given. It's part of life. We're born to die. That's what it is. But when you're given a time, you're given sort of a death sentence, like you're given that, oh, for instance, this is the period, or for instance, you have reached a point where you have this disease that anytime it can decide just to do something to you. It's very hard to sit there every day. Like, I've had very bad days, very, very bad days, where I sit in bed and think that, I think this was the beginning. I think I started asking that, what have I done? What did I do to somebody? What exactly, like, how does cancer pick? Like, who does it pick? Like, it's just, obviously, I know it's random selection, but it's very difficult and it's very hard. I said, when people ask you how you're doing, because you have no answer. Like, how would I answer somebody how I'm doing? Like, mentally, sometimes it's painful. That days you wake up, you're like, I don't want to wake up. I want to stay in bed. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to speak to anybody. Then you keep reminding yourself that you can't just be sitting in bed. You have to go for a walk, do a bit of exercise. You have to watch what you eat, because cancer feeds on sugars, cancer feeds on carbohydrates, cancer feeds on alcohol, cancer feeds on sugars, like all these chocolates, everything. It feeds on certain things, and sometimes you have to stay away from all those things. But that's what it is. And for me, for this treatment, I just want a chance. Like, it's asking for a fighting chance. It's just, as I said, nobody really wants to die. Nobody really wants to hear that you won't have as much time, and maybe you will die through some random stuff or natural stuff. But this disease is giving you, like, it's ticking away. It's ticking away, and for it to go on my bone, it's like bones. That's the thing. What I've noticed, that, like, I have gone through studies. It's the fact, when it's on the bone, it's just there. It's on the bone. It stays there. It starts eating your bone. That's what it does. It starts eating your bone. You can end up not been able to walk at all, but I'm trying my best, and that's why I've decided, you know what, let me just see if there's somewhere else I can go. A lot of people have been asking, some of the questions I have to answer is, why don't you want to go to America? Why don't you want to go to Germany? It's not easy. The thing is, if you talk about America, you're talking about 50,000 to 100,000 euros. That's in America to get any sort of treatment. Yes, there are hospitals in America that are number one in the world to deal with cancer, but they're very expensive. If you talk about Japan, another place that's very good with the whole cancer thing, but another thing, expensive. Somebody was asking me why I didn't go to Germany. A lot of people go to Germany. It's expensive. Again, basically, my GoFundMe, I picked the cheapest option, an option that at least I could say maybe even if I get close to this amount through my GoFundMe to go to Turkey. At least my own family and myself, we can fund the rest and try to add something if we get close. But that's it, guys. It's shit, to be honest. Like it's shit. It's shit. Every time I have to hold back my tears, because even right now I have to hold back my tears because I want to be strong, because I don't want to let the cancer beat me or defeat me or change who I am. So it is what it is. As I said, it's natural selection. It doesn't mean I know I was asking myself if I did something wrong, but it's not that. It's just natural selection. It can end up just being whoever. It picks whoever. I don't hate anybody about it, or I don't curse at people or anybody about it. It's fine. It is what it is. But I just wanted to tell people that this is the situation. It started with stage 3 breast cancer last year. Things were looking good, but I couldn't walk. I couldn't walk at all in September. And then when I did my scan, that's when they told me stage 4. This is stage 4 bone cancer, and it's in your bones now. So I'm praying every day. If you can pray for me, pray for me. I'm also praying daily. I'm praying for a miracle, because I don't think, as I said, nobody really wants to die in this world, but I know everybody ends up dying. But I think you understand where I'm coming from. But I have so much, like this cancer has taken from me so much financially, emotionally, work-wise. Every time I get into a job, even when I was trying to get interviews last year, I had to explain that on Thursday I have to go for a cancer injection, and some jobs couldn't employ me. Some places were saying, "Oh, we need you here Monday to Friday." I've been trying to get a job to work from home, because I don't even think physically I can work somewhere where I'm walking around, because the pain becomes serious. I don't know what the cancer does to you, but your whole body, the bottom, the bones start getting irritated. So I've been looking to say, okay, let me get a place to work from home. But as I say, it's difficult to get even a work at home job, because most of the work at home jobs are Monday to Friday. And are they going to allow me to Thursdays to go sit in the hospital all day to get treatment? I don't know. It's just, as I said, the cancer has taken most of my dreams, to be honest, because the job I was working recently last year, it's a job I've always wanted to work at, and now I had to leave that job again. I was working in a restaurant before the breast cancer. I had to leave that job. It's like I have had to leave things. I have had to cancel plans just because of this. Even though people say, "Oh, keep on going with your life," it's difficult, because especially when you are doing the public hospitals, as I say, they can call you this in the morning. Well, we need you by 4 o'clock, because public hospitals have a big list of people. Private hospitals are more catering to their patients, but private hospitals, they've got limited resources. But that's what I'm trying to do, guys. That's the reason why I did the GoFundMe, is just to get a chance, an opportunity, maybe to extend my life, maybe to have a fighting chance, maybe a miracle will happen, maybe a miracle, and I pray a miracle will happen. But anyway, guys, that's all I can say. I thank everybody who's donated to the GoFundMe and all the people who are donating, and I also thank all the YouTubers who are getting involved. I thank everybody who's also getting involved, and God bless you all. To my Muslim brothers, Allah bless you all. It's, I don't know. This, I'm not going to do any other video. This is the video I was going to do, just explain everything. If people have more questions, I'll just send them this video so they can be able to watch it. But I appreciate everybody, and I appreciate the football community and the Twitter community for all the support. And when I start with the new treatments, and I will update people. I will send updates via Twitter, and you will see through all the journey. But I appreciate all of you, man, and thank you very much. And look after yourselves, guys, and enjoy the Arsenal game and Chelsea. Thank you very much. The GoFundMe link, is it Steve? It's pinned to my thing. There it is. It's pinned. It's pinned to my. You can find it on Twitter. It's also pinned on my YouTube. It's also pinned. But thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you. But have a great day. Thank you.